we looked at ecosystem services, which were things that the earth does to provide for us and make us happy. And there's a lot of things the earth does to maintain comfortable life for humans. We broke them into 4 categories. There was provisioning, there was regulating, there was cultural, and then supporting. So remember, we're going to have a little quiz. It is now penciled in for Friday. So the earth gives us all this good stuff. It does things that are wonderful for humans. And then we come along and we just take and take and take and take. Whatever the earth will give us, we take it. Sometimes we waste it. So that's really what the ecological footprint is. It's a comparison of how much we take and use and sometimes waste compared to what the earth is able to actually give us. And you see all the different parts of our life that go into an ecological footprint: where you live, how you travel, what kinds of food you eat. And we end up coming up with a measurement called a global hectare, GHA, at the bottom of the screen. And a hectare is a unit typically used in farming. It's a very big land unit. From 2016, the average eco footprint in the United States was 8.1 global hectares. Another way to view it is, how many Earths would it take to sustain how we live? If everybody on Earth lived like an average American citizen, we would need 5 Earths. We start to look at what are called developed nations and developing nations. So when we average all that out, we calculate what's called per capita, right? That means per person, per capital member of the society. We see that the United States falls a little more into line. We're still very high at over 7.1 for our footprint. But we see that the Middle East especially is particularly huge. And if you think about that region, they have lots of oil and they have lots of money, but that's all they have. They need water, they need crops, they need all kinds of things to sustain their very wealthy lifestyle. So Qatar, Kuwait, and United Arab Emirates are all very big footprints. When we talk about developing nations, Africa is the continent that is still very unindustrial. And so we look at the bottom of this chart, and those are the African countries. You can see their footprints are much smaller because of the factors of them being a developing nation. There are ways we can reduce our footprint. And I want you to try to think or guess what is the best, most efficient way that we can make our footprint smaller.
Drive a Prius.
Drive a Prius. Yep. So hybrid electric vehicles, those are options that are going to help bring our number down.
I say put a limit on certain things.
Oh, caps. Yeah, like carbon caps and trade caps and things. So you need to be more specific though, because you're right. The correct answer is to limit something, but I want to know what we're going to limit. The number one thing that we can do to lower our footprint is to not have as much we. Stop reproducing. Look how much of a difference it is. We're not even on the same scale. 60 tons of carbon if you don't make another human, because that human then is going to require all kinds of ecological footprint things. Obviously, you can give up your car, you can switch to electric, not fly to Europe this year. Well, they won't let us, so. Eat a plant-based diet. Those are all great things, but none of them compare to simply controlling the population.